So I've seen some chatter to, talk online on various platforms, Instagram and YouTube, TikTok, people talking about their truck setups for their dogs. So we're gonna go with ours. I did a video on the red truck that we had. However, we needed a diesel truck just because the number of miles that we drive. We're averaging 4,000 to 4,500 miles a month. So longevity wise, it just made more sense for us to get a diesel. And we have a camper, weighs about 7,000 pounds. Not a whole lot. However, driving it through the mountains 2 or 3 times a month to Tennessee is quite a bit on it. So especially quite a bit on a gas engine, let's say. So that led us to get a diesel. If you haven't seen our Instagram, we got a 2014 Ram Mega Cab. The reason we went with the Mega Cab is because the Ruffland kennels on the inside, we can fit 2 extra large Rufflands in the back seat and still have our driver and passenger seat all the way back, fully extended, however you want to, look at it. We're very comfortable. We got plenty of room. I think it's like an extra 13 some odd inches in the cab space, but I could be wrong on that. But we can fit 2 extra larges in there. Works great for any dog that we need to be able to take to and from our training program or protection dogs, even our personal dogs. It allows us to carry 4 dogs. We still have our gunner kennels back here. I did get questioned on the DeWalt fans. So the reason we have the DeWalt fans versus the gunner fans, everything I can see online and looking up the gunner fans, they max power can produce 150 CFMs. We're in the south, it's hot. The real feel today I think is 96 degrees with a higher humidity. I'm feeling it just standing out here doing this. The gunner kennels are double insulated. They're great for the winter, great for the summer for the dogs. I've never had an issue with the dogs getting too hot. However, if they do such a great job with the gunner fan, I know they're doing great with these. The DeWalt fan, these are the first series fans where they have the dual power source. You can plug them in or you can run them off of a battery. Max power output is 150 CFM. The great thing is you flip that down, there's a little plug there. We can plug them in. They rotate all around, so I have a spare or a third one that I use when I'm decoying in the summer. Throw a battery in it, stand over it like this, like a bum. It works great just to get some air moving around me. So 150 CFM versus 650 CFM. Obviously I'm going to take the 650 CFM. I have my own bracket made. I'll, cut a little clip in there of that. I've got my own bracket made to secure the fan and spread the weight out across the door. I haven't had any issue out of the gunner doors holding those fans. And then I just have a bungee cord securing it on the bottom. The mount that I made, we'll be able to see at some point in these videos here. Then just keep the fan from bouncing and banging on the door or anything like that. It keeps it nice, tight, secured, so when we're traveling down the road, it's not causing excess wear and tear on things. The biggest addition that we have of the sort, I bought this one used off of Facebook Marketplace because I'm a marketplace flip out. And the only issue I had, the gentleman that I got it from had a bed cover on it all the time. He just used it for kind of basic storage when they traveled. He didn't haul anything in the truck bed, and he had the tonneau cover over it, so he wasn't worried about water. But he had screwed down his own metal attachments to this. They weren't sealed, so we got this about a month ago, and we've had quite the time with this drawer getting it sealed. But I was able to find that and get that secured and taken care of the other day. Now, the big thing that these drawers help us do is with all the stores that we need to do what we do with these dogs. So naturally, I like to be prepared for things. So this first box just has trailer pins, headlamp, flat tire stuff. all the fun things that we have there. Second box here, nothing more than cleaning supplies. We picked up these wipes the other day, trying them out. Keep 2 rolls of paper towels. Underneath there I keep some trash bags. That way if we do have a mess to clean up with the dogs, it's pretty easily done just with what's there. My training vest, our aluminum tarp, some trailer hit stuff, involved in search and rescue dogs, so I have my spare boots, and then way back in the back there we have a trauma bag, a basic medical bag. The drop cord that the fans are currently hooked into goes in this drawer as well, and then a good old-fashioned everyday tarp. Why do we need a tarp every day? Well, you never know. It does come in handy though if I have to like make a shift a little tin or throw it over the back of the truck or something like that. So just makes things a little bit easier. Over here is kind of where I'm assuming most people will want to kind of curious what all we carry with us here when it comes to our dogs. Shoot. So looking at the front of the drawer, this is a little tote that comes with these things. We keep some Flexies. I don't want to hear about it. My day-to-day electric collar of various assortments of leashes, 2-inch collar, the charger, multiple pinch collars, like multiple, and then I've got 3 long lines that stay in here. I got a 12 foot, 15 foot, 25 foot, and 2 50 foot, just, you know, because. And we have our 2 Flexies. Both those Flexies are like 32 feet, I think. Harnesses, some reward toys, Monty Ringhorn, Rex Specs, because Obi's cool like that. We have our Voila treat pouch. Got that from my guy Hunter. I'll post his link. His wife is doing leather work. I like leather leads, collars, etc. I just picked up this leash from her yesterday, I believe it was. It's gray. It's not it's a heavier leather, but it's not incredibly heavy. It's got a nice color to it. She does a really good job tapering down the edges. This does not have a handle on it. It fits the PSA requirement now that they have for leads. I think it's a little long for the French ring requirement that you have to have for the one thing you have to do with a leash. However, I didn't buy it for either one of those. I bought it for training my off-leash dogs. It's just long enough that, you know, the dog is here, I'm here. It gives me enough room where I can let the dog free roam and kind of make decisions based on where they're going to be. But I can shorten it up, obviously. But it's lightweight. I don't have a handle on it. I've had this particular leather leash for 17 years, I believe. It is pretty heavy. The handle on it's real heavy. It's a heavy leather. It's got a heavy ring on it. Dogs obviously, you know, can feel that weight and make a decision on, you know, oh, I'm going to stay right here because I feel this thing. I also have that bio thing that's really lightweight. Tug, flashlight, or a scene spotlight kind of thing. Another one. Kong, gloves, battery for the fans, and I always keep a little spare thing of food right here just in case I forget food or I run out of training food. I have everything everywhere. Deodorant for the doggos, because you never know. Always keep a couple towels, hand cloths, blanket. Going into the back is where things like, man, that holds a lot. Some of this isn't all mine. Some of this is other trainers that I've borrowed or I'm in the process of borrowing right now. Kong, Kong. If you know me in cladder sticks, then you know. Tug. Another harness. Tug and flirt rag. Another long line. Whoops. Whip. Bowl with a few distractions in it, and there's some more bowls and etc. way back there, but they're kind of a pain to get to. But this is a broken long line, doesn't have a hook on it, but it's 50 feet, and you know, you never know when you might need that. These rolled leather tugs are phenomenal. I have a massive box of these that I bought recently. So if you know me in cladder sticks, you know Josh Kirby probably really appreciates me buying cladder sticks, because a box of cladder sticks will last me like a month, maybe. Whoops. A buddy of mine makes those leather tugs, just kind of in his, you know, retirement, spare time and everything. Once I get my hands on a sewing machine that's one of the Cobra machines, then I'll definitely be making my own again. One thing I do have, a little grab stick. My father-in-law made this for me years ago. It's just a little hook, ain't a whole lot to it, but it allows me to grab stuff out of the back. I used to have it in here, but then I got it hung up one day and I couldn't get it back out. And I was cussing this thing for all it was worth the whole time. We're pulling back in the driveway from helping Nikki at school, me and the old Obi here. But we have a package coming today. Let me have your collar, buddy. I gotta get your remote. Come on. All right then. We got a package coming today that I ordered yesterday morning. So pretty quick turnaround from this place. I'm pretty stoked about it, because if you guys know me, I like to keep my dogs safe. So with the additional kennels in the cab, we needed some fans so we didn't have to leave the dogs running, the truck running all the time. So we found a company that makes a pretty cool product. Good reviews on them. I haven't used them before or dug into them or anything, but yeah, let me get the dog situated and we'll open it up. So as I said, we'll get into this box. Ordered this from relentlessbirddogs.com or relentlessbirddog.com, something like that, with an S, without an S, I don't know, but nonetheless, you'll recognize their logo if you go to their website. They make kennel fans They look nice. I've heard good things about them just from some forums. So, looking forward to it. I specifically ordered the additional plugs so that they can be plugged in to Shoreline or a regular 110 outlet, or the 12 volt plug on the truck. So the way we ordered these have a cigarette lighter plug. They can just be, you know, plugged right into the truck, 12 volt power, whatever have it. They come with some mounting brackets, it looks like, or some bolts, which is nice because there's a lot of places that won't ship that. Yeah, right there is their logo. Check them out. I also ordered the adapters so that these things can get plugged into the drop cord in the truck. And we've also made another addition there as far as that goes, so that essentially ordered a junction box from Amazon that all the cords can be plugged into a power strip inside of that. So there's their adapter. Looks like they have their own little kind of basic or proprietary plug. But let's get into these fans. Check these bad boys out. So first thought, definitely heavy duty plastic. That is actually really nice. Curious how all of these interior bolts will line up on a kennel door. However, I don't foresee it being a problem. Nice power switch. It is relentlessbirddogs.com, as you can see there. Nice fan, nice tough plastic. Motor feels good on it. Yeah, can't wait to get these on the truck. So these are variable speed, as I was saying. So that's kind of one of the things I was looking for. I didn't want just an on-off fan. I wanted something I could control the airspeed on, because you know, I may not need a bunch of air blowing on my dog or anything like that and make them too cool. I had that happen with Obi. I had warmed him up, got him ready for trial and everything, and then we had a delay in the trial a little bit, so I just chunked him in the truck and threw the fan on because it was hot out. Well, while we were waiting, the temperature dropped pretty good because of cast over cloud, and it stayed that way for a little bit. So when I went back to get him, the temp had dropped a lot inside the kennel. So he was pretty cool and comfortable. However, I feel like that hurt us in the getting him warmed up phase. Oops. Pretty decently long plug that goes to the cigarette lighter. So we'll get a split. I don't know that I'll need the cigarette lighter plug just because, you know, they're in the cab going down the road with the air conditioning on. However, in the event we're sitting somewhere and I don't have the option for a Shoreline, I wanted to be able to plug them into the truck and use it that way with the windows down. It's even got a nice little LED light on there. One of them goofballs is doing something. I'm all about having options, so I definitely wanted to make sure that I had those options. Got some instructions there. Came with some nice bolts here with a spacer and wing nuts. So yeah, we're gonna check this out, see how we need to mount it, and go from there. See you soon.